So what do you think about repurposing content in general versus content, and does it matter?
Okay, so repurposing content in general or creating new content, I usually take a hybrid approach. It depends on the assets that you have to work with. Someone like you, Ray, you've got 400 videos in your channel. Your starting point, in my opinion, would be take those videos and repurpose the crap out of them. If we can, that's going to give you the ability to create hundreds of new videos by splicing and dicing and using things like content fries. So it really depends on where you're at. Great question, Brian. If you're starting from scratch, I'd say, you know what? Let's look at what's the easiest way to create content for your business. Maybe it's the screen shares. Maybe it's interviewing people. Maybe it's taking, blog content and putting it and transcribing it to text, where you're taking text and you're turning it into an audio. There's AI tools that will help you do that. Or if you want to go old school, you can do it yourself. You can do a video of yourself giving a presentation. You're looking at your content, you're taking a piece of content and breaking it down into sections. You're reading it, you're adding value to users. So it depends on that value that you're adding, as well as what you have to do. So if you have content to be repurposed, I'd say go to town, repurposing that content if you create value for your users, first and foremost. If you don't have that content, I'd say create it from scratch. Somebody like you, Ray, a good strategy would be have your team repurposing content every single day of the week, and then come up with what are people searching for on Google Trends? Are they looking for branding expert, personal branding, business branding? Are they looking for consultancy, consultant, consulting? And then look to see, well, where are they searching? At what frequency are they searching? How do I create content that can reflect that? You can also look at when you're doing searches within YouTube, they're going to auto suggest other keywords that you need to go after. So my approach is always look at your assets, create as many as you can based on what you have to work with. If you have a lot, repurpose the heck out of it. If you don't, come up with ways of creating new content, because in almost 20 years of doing these kinds of things, the biggest problem that I have seen clients run into is they don't have time. I don't have a videographer, Ray. I don't have a guy that come in and edit. Well, something like Content Fries gives you the ability to have a VA or somebody who's working in your office tweak that content, or looking at doing screen shares. You just have to make sure that you get the time. If you were to go in and look at creating time once a week on a Monday, let's say on a Monday or a Sunday, you went out and plotted out, you do one video, you spend 30 minutes a week, and that 30 minutes can be turned into 20 videos or 30 videos. Let's say you found out 30 questions that consumers ask. Or what are the questions that your customers typically ask? There's 30 questions that they ask. I'm going to spend 1 minute on each question. Now you take a 30-minute video, you turn it into 30 1-minute videos, and you plaster that all over your social media. Now you've taken your video from like 0 videos in your channel to 30, and you have a much greater chance of growing that account because you have so much more content. And it doesn't have to be, typically when you look at brand, the engagement rates, if you can create videos that are like maybe 3 minutes max, unless it's training, like if you're a doctor and you're talking about new treatments for cancer or whatever, people will spend an hour watching those videos. But if you're talking about branding or SEO or YouTube marketing, typically 1 to 3 minutes is all you're going to get. And typically even within that, as you already know, it's within that first 4 to 8 seconds. If you don't catch them, they're not going to stay there. So